Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Kid out back in the Ripple Effect. You already know what it is, and you already know the vibes. Hey, just gonna give y'all a quick Sunday rundown of everything that's been going on. Commanders got that big win, happy for them. But just this week, you already know when they go against the Giants, you already know what it is. But you have to appreciate what's been going on, especially with Brian Robinson Jr. Being shot 4 times, earlier in the year, and to be able to bounce back and have the numbers and the games that he's been playing and be a part of this winning streak that the Commanders are on. Shout outs to him. Shout outs to the Commanders for doing right by Sean Taylor. His daughter was here. His whole entire family was here. I got to see them from afar. I didn't get to meet him or anything, but it was a really nice little unveiling, of the statue that they had for him, and definitely a nice little commemoration of his moments here because, 2-time Pro Bowler, he was that dude. He did his thing, and I can't believe it's been so long already, and they did really good by having different types of memorabilia. Even if you check out, the YouTube, check out my further, my little shorts, my little stories and different things on my social pages like Instagram and all that, and you'll see all the different things that they kept, all these keepsakes and different things of that nature, letting Sean Taylor's, legacy continue. And it's a beautiful thing. Even little things like a little playbook that he used to keep, different strategies and things that he used to do, with different wideouts, and it was amazing. Like, when he pulls back, it was amazing that they kept all those things in his University of Miami jersey, number 26, but of course number 21, which he wore with the Commanders. Great stuff. So shout outs to them for that. I always like when guys play their hearts out and they do everything they can for their franchise. So the fact that they were able to bring his family all together and all the fans that are here and kind of just come together and let's remember this guy, remember the work that he put in. Let's not let his memory die, even though it's been 15 years. We want to keep that anniversary going, and you got to really appreciate that, and that's what's up. So I'm just a fan of the game, obviously, but not necessarily a fan of the team, but stuff like that's what's up. You got to appreciate that. Jets, stand up. What's going on? Mike White, huh? Yeah. Zach Wilson, he had to learn a lesson, but while they out here teaching lessons, now they in the right side, of the win column, right? You don't want to mess around with Zach too much, for obvious reasons, right? I told you I was something up about that dude. I just couldn't put my finger on it, but Mike White, smart dude, taking advantage of the opportunity presented from coach, making that timely decision to pull Zach at the right time, and knowing that it's time for Mike White to step up into his position, and seeing everything that he's been able to do has been crazy, right? After all that controversy surrounding the Jets and everything that's going on with the benching and all this and that and who plans on winning, he stays ready. You could tell he was ready to come in here, 3 touchdowns, over 60% completion, no interceptions. That was a man who was ready to play, a man who was ready to possibly take over the QB position, but only time will tell when it comes to that. Brady not having the best time, obviously. Russell Wilson not having the best time. So just to put in short, Buccaneers lost. In case y'all didn't know already, it is what it is. Denver lost as well. So but I do like how the Browns are playing because Deshaun Watson is coming back, right? So remember when we talked about Jacoby Brissett, how when he was taking over and how many games he had to win in order to keep them in contention, if they were planning on doing anything this year. But at the end of the day, we already know that the Browns were thinking more long-term. They wanted a quarterback for the future, not necessarily for this year, right? Because they already knew with his situation being what it is, that may not even be possible. So that's all good. But at the end of the day, what are the teams we have? Yeah, the Ravens, that was a nice overtime game. Jacksonville's pulling up. So we're starting to understand that, listen, Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence, all that stuff we thought about him last year and, just where the team where it was at. When you think about it, how can anybody flourish under such conditions, right? When you have a new QB, you have a coach that seems to be involved in everything else, but trying to be a coach and trying to lead, these guys to winning, So, yeah, shout out to Trevor Lawrence. Keep his head up. Hope he keeps doing what he's doing. They're on their way. But the Dolphins, though, bro, we got to talk about the Dolphins. Listen, the Dolphins are like that. But more importantly, let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa is that dude. Right now, he's my MVP, 100%. Y'all can sit here and talk all this noise about Josh, Patrick Mahomes, and rightfully so. The noise is, it's justified. Ain't nobody trying to say that. But right now, I'm looking at Tua Tagovailoa. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts. Come on, man. Or if you want to go non-quarterback, we can also look at Tyreek Hill. Let's look at what he's been doing, and let's look at how he just literally just changed teams. New playbook, new coaching situation with McDaniel. McDaniel. It's like night and day. So at the end of the day, listen, the Dolphins are that team. They're proven. They're winning. Tua Tagovailoa did have that crazy fall, though. You got to worry about him sometimes, about his protection and, and everything that's surrounding with, with the concussions and things of that nature. You definitely want to, it is kind of cringeworthy when you see some of the plays that he's usually involved with. The contortion of his body at times is like absolutely nuts. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's football, man. It's a crazy game. It's a rough game. It's a tough game. But Tua Tagovailoa, that seems to be the front runner for my MVP. And that's no shade on Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts definitely deserves to be next in that conversation. Then we can talk about Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and Tyreek Hill if you want to name a non-quarterback. Because, for some reason why it seems to be a quarterback award. We shouldn't even call it MVP. It should just be the QB MVP. Because that's just kind of what it is. But in other news, I know a lot of people probably want to talk about the whole Odell situation, about his decision and where do you think he'll go. I personally think it'll be Dallas. Do I want it to be Dallas? No. Do I want to be called names when I buy his jersey and it's a Cowboys jersey and I happen to obviously a Giants fan from New York, and not to mention I'm at, Commanders games. Yeah, I'm just going to be looking like a whole fraud out here. But at the end of the day, I don't care. But in other news, I know a lot of things were going on surrounding OBJ because I heard that he was escorted off a flight in Miami. But you know what? OBJ is my guy. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I already know how a lot of you guys like to clown him already without even really knowing the whole story and the whole situation. So you know what? I'm not even really going to go there until I hear more reports and hear more stories, because right now I kind of just see him on Twitter saying one thing and I hear the news outlets saying another. And I know how it is. I already know how his reputation's already been tainted because they try to automatically just judge who this guy was, when he was like 22, 23 years old, being given millions of dollars and playing the sport that he loves and excelling at it and doing with what any young man would do, at his age. Whether some people just like to, put it on Front Street is a whole nother story, So he's obviously put in the limelight more often than others. The man can't do anything, and it's a gift and a curse, right? Because that's why he's that popular. It's why he makes the money that he does. But at the same time, I'm not about trying to go in on Odell. Odell's my guy. I hope he chooses the place that's best for him. I hope he lands wherever safely where he needs to go so he can make that decision and we can move on, all right? Because ain't nobody trying to clown my guy. But y'all already know what it is. Losses equals life lessons, baby. It's your girl K-Dot. I'm out. Peace.